On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Journalist.
A person who collects and writes news stories or articles for newspapers, magazines, radio, television, or other online media.
Examples:
A China-based journalist. Journalist on a magazine. Foreign TV crews and journalists can go as they please in various locations during the Olympics.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Suddenly.
Quickly and unexpectedly.
Examples:
Suddenly attacked by an enemy. Die suddenly. Who answers suddenly knows little.
Shell.
Hard outer covering or case of eggs, nuts, some seeds, and some animals.
Examples:
An egg shell. A mollusk shell. The outermost electron shell determines the chemical properties of an atom.
Missile.
A weapon, such as a rocket or guided projectile, that is self-propelled and directed by remote control or by an internal guidance mechanism.
Examples:
Missile defense. Cruise missile attack. The military launched a ballistic missile at the enemy's stronghold.
Shock.
A strong feeling or physical reaction to a sudden and unexpected event or experience, especially something unpleasant.
Examples:
Death from shock. Shock resistant. He got an electric shock at work.
Scream.
To give a loud, high shout suddenly, especially because of fear, anger, excitement, etc., to utter or declare in a very loud voice.
Examples:
Scream a profanity. Scream at him to be quiet. She kept screaming for an ambulance.
Hallway.
An interior passage or corridor onto which rooms open.
Examples:
The head of a hallway. Wax a hallway floor. He dashed down a hallway to a bathroom.
Sternum.
The flat bone located in the center of the chest that connects the rib cage via cartilage.
Examples:
Sternum bone. Fractured sternum. The driver's seatbelt saved their sternum from injury in the car accident.
Shiny.
Reflecting light and having a bright and smooth surface.
Examples:
Shiny surface. Shiny object. The shiny new car drew everyone's attention as it drove by.
Spot.
A particular location or place, a small round or roundish area, differing in color or feels from the surface around it.
Examples:
Beauty spot. A spot on his honor. This remote spot is rarely visited.
Blind.
Unable to see, unable or unwilling to perceive or understand the true nature of something.
Examples:
Blind to the beauties. Blind spot. She was nearly blind due to severe diabetes.
Disappear.
To cease to exist or be visible.
Examples:
Disappear without a trace. Disappear after a week. They watched the train disappear into the distance.
Buddy.
A close friend, a partner, especially one of a pair or team.
Examples:
My golf buddy. Buddy movie. He was the first buddy in the military training camp.
Underneath.
Under or below something else.
Examples:
Underneath the surface of the water. Underneath the laughter. The penny fell underneath the piano.
Elevator.
A mechanical device used for vertical transportation, typically in multi-story buildings, consisting of a compartmentalized platform that moves between floors.
Examples:
Elevator ride. Modern elevator. The hotel's elevator was out of order, so we had to take the stairs to our room on the 5th floor.
Span.
The entire length of something, such as time or space from beginning to end, the amount of space that something covers.
Examples:
The span of a bird's wings. The average lifespan. He slightly modified the span of training because it was just before a match.
Explode.
To burst or break open violently and noisily, to cause something to burst or break open.
Examples:
Explode in anger. Explode in popularity. The old building exploded in a fiery inferno.
Lobby.
A large area inside the entrance of a public building where people can meet and wait. A group of people who try to persuade a politician, the government, or an official group to influence legislation.
Examples:
Lobby for legislation. A hotel lobby. That lobby group actively advocated environmental protection to the government.
Upstairs.
On or to an upper or highest floor of a building.
Examples:
Live upstairs. Go upstairs to rest. I heard a noise upstairs.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Veteran.
A person who has had long experience in a particular area or activity.
Examples:
A 20-year veteran in the industry. Veteran teacher. The veteran soldiers have the role of teaching recruits the stringencies of training.
Crawl.
To move forward slowly, as people or animals with their bodies near the ground.
Examples:
Crawl across the floor. Crawl away from a car. Along the gravel roads, sizable yellow school buses crawl.
Confidence.
The feeling or attitude that one can trust or rely on the abilities or good qualities of someone or something.
Examples:
Confidence as a teacher. Boost my confidence. Skill and confidence are an unconquered army.
Discharge.
To release or let go of something or someone. To dismiss or terminate an employee or member of an organization. To emit or give off a substance or energy.
Examples:
Discharge water. Discharge a contract. The hospital will discharge the patient as soon as their condition stabilizes.
Blast.
Explosion, or a strong current of air, usually caused by an explosion, a sudden, thunderous noise.
Examples:
A blast of wind. An icy blast. The blast shattered the laboratory equipment.
Panic.
A sudden strong feeling of fear that cannot be controlled and prevents reasonable thought and action.
Examples:
A panic reaction. Panic buying. The participation of oil-producing countries in the war caused panic in the financial markets.
Croup.
A respiratory condition primarily affecting infants and young children, characterized by a hoarse, barking cough and difficulty in breathing due to swelling of the voice box and windpipe, the contagious disease causing this condition.
Examples:
Acute spasmodic croup. Severe croup. My child woke up in the middle of the night with a severe croup, causing difficulty breathing.
Casino.
A business or establishment that provides gambling services, such as slot machines, table games, or sports betting, a facility or venue that hosts events or entertainment, often featuring dining or recreational amenities.
Examples:
Casino floor. Casino games. I won $100 at the casino last night playing blackjack.
Suitable.
Fit or appropriate, proper, adapted.
Examples:
Suitable amount. Date suitable to both groups. The dress was suitable for the formal occasion.
Visible.
Capable of being seen or open to easy view.
Examples:
Visible stars. Visible by X-ray. My home is easily visible from the shore.
Scar.
A mark that remains on the skin after a wound has healed.
Examples:
Burn scar. Carry a scar. Even after the wound has healed, a scar remains.
Coincident.
Happening or operating in the same place or at the same time.
Examples:
Coincident indicators. A series of coincident events. Coincident with the negotiation, the bank was permitted to open a Beijing branch.
Investigate.
To conduct a systematic or formal inquiry to identify and evaluate the facts of a crime, problem, statement, etc., to establish the truth.
Examples:
Investigate the matter. Investigate a data leak. The committee investigated several apparent inconsistencies.
Psychiatry.
The branch of medicine concerned with the study, treatment, and prevention of mental illness.
Examples:
Psychiatry therapy. Biological psychiatry. The field of psychiatry is constantly evolving, with new treatments and approaches being developed all the time.
Fin.
A thin flat part on the body of a fish or other aquatic animal used for propulsion or balance.
Examples:
Back fin. A fin of a plane. The shark's powerful fins allowed it to swim at high speeds.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Military.
Relating to or characteristic of members of the armed forces, of or relating to war or warfare.
Examples:
A military operation. A military leader. The military academy was known for its strict discipline and training.
Trauma.
An emotional wound or shock often has long-lasting effects caused by a highly upsetting or shocking experience.
Examples:
Psychic trauma. Trauma care. Many civilians have suffered trauma as a result of the war.
Traumatic.
Relating to or caused by injury, especially emotional injury.
Examples:
Traumatic event. Traumatic brain injury. The experience was so traumatic that it left a lasting impact on the survivor's mental health.
Neurosis.
A psychological disorder characterized by excessive anxiety, distress, and irrational thoughts or behaviors, typically less severe than psychosis, but can still impact an individual's daily functioning.
Examples:
Hysterical neurosis, childhood neurosis. Her perfectionism and obsessive-compulsive tendencies were indicative of an underlying neurosis.
Encounter.
To face something, particularly something unpleasant or difficult, while attempting to do something else, to meet, especially unexpectedly.
Examples:
Encounter a crisis. Encounter a storm. I'm prepared to encounter challenges throughout this adventure.
Void.
An empty space, a feeling of emptiness, adjective, lacking any legal or binding force.
Examples:
Void of expression. Void contract. The void in her heart was filled with the love of her family.
Steady.
Firmly fixed, supported, or balanced, not shaking or moving.
Examples:
Steady increase. Take a steady job. The patient's vital signs are steady, indicating a stable condition.
Invisible.
Impossible or nearly impossible to see.
Examples:
An invisible asset. Invisible stars. The phenomenon is invisible at optical wavelengths.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Penetrate.
To pass into or through something, often by overcoming resistance.
Examples:
Penetrate a cell. Penetrate quickly into the skin. Western ideology slowly penetrates through the Eastern countries.
Horrible.
Extremely unpleasant or bad, causing fear or disgust.
Examples:
Horrible accident. Horrible smell. The experience was horrible and left a lasting impression.
Anxiety.
A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something that is happening or might happen in the future.
Examples:
Diagnosis of anxiety disorder. Anxiety for knowledge. She waited for her daughter with anxiety.
Nightmare.
A very frightening or unpleasant dream.
Examples:
Have a nightmare. Nightmare situation. Life as a waiter was a big nightmare for him.
Aim.
To try or plan to get or achieve something.
Examples:
Aim at a specific target. Aim to be a nurse. We aim for an overseas expansion.
Straight.
Extending or moving in one direction without bending or curving, having no deviations.
Examples:
A straight line. Straight for 2 months. He was sick for 5 straight days.
Barrel.
A large round container made of wood, metal, or plastic, with flat ends and, usually, curved sides, one of several units of volume.
Examples:
A barrel of beer. $30 a barrel. One rotten apple spoils the whole barrel.
Enormous.
Extremely large or great.
Examples:
Enormous amount. Enormous potential. Shakespeare's output of poetry was enormous.
Deformity.
A physical abnormality or distortion.
Examples:
Deformity of character. Physical deformity. The deformity in the steel beam caused the bridge to collapse.
Fluffy.
Soft and light, often with a texture that resembles feathers or fur.
Examples:
Fluffy clouds. Fluffy blanket. The kitten had fluffy fur that was soft to the touch.
Swallow.
To make food, drink, pills, etc., pass down your throat into your stomach. Noun, small long-winged songbird noted for swift, graceful flight and the regularity of its migrations.
Examples:
Swallow a handful of pills. A swallowtail. I swallowed my anger and kept quiet.
Perception.
A belief, opinion, or image you have based on how you regard, understand, or interpret something, the ability to see, hear, or notice something through the senses.
Examples:
Keen perception. Perception of a stimulus. He is a man admired for the depth of his perception.
Convinced.
Completely certain about something, having a strong belief or conviction in a particular religion.
Examples:
Convinced of the idea. Convinced criminal. The public is convinced that the Prime Minister has committed fraud.
Mass.
A large amount of a substance with no definite shape or form, a large number of people or things grouped or crowded together.
Examples:
A mass of molten rock. Critical mass. The mass of people who do not own property is politically impotent.
Grave.
A place where a dead body is buried, typically marked by a headstone or other memorial. A very serious, solemn, or important matter. Verb, to carve, cut, or etch a design, inscription, or mark onto a hard surface, such as stone or metal. Adjective, serious, solemn, or weighty in nature.
Examples:
Graven image. Grave mistake. Many innocent civilians were killed and buried in mass graves outside the city during the war.
Slaughter.
The killing of a large number of animals or people brutally and indiscriminately, a violent and bloody event that results in the death of many individuals.
Examples:
Slaughter of animals. Senseless slaughter. The slaughter of endangered animals must be stopped.
Trance.
A state of altered consciousness in which a person may seem to be asleep or unconscious but, in reality, is highly responsive to suggestion. A state of being deeply absorbed in thought or feeling, often characterized by a heightened awareness of one's surroundings and emotions.
Examples:
Trance state. Meditative trance. The rhythmic beat of the drums kept the audience in a trance.
Anxious.
Worried and nervous.
Examples:
Anxious about his health. An anxious look. He cast anxious glances behind her.
Terrify.
To frighten someone very much.
Examples:
Terrify people. The threats terrify him. It would be best not to terrify your associates into doing complex tasks.
Horror.
Intense fear or disgust, especially at something shocking or terrifying.
Examples:
Horror movie. Horror-struck look. The stories of war crimes filled her with horror.
Analog.
Relating to or using signals or information represented by a continuous physical quantity, such as spatial position, voltage, etc.
Examples:
An analog watch. Digitization of analog sounds. Mercury thermometers are a type of analog sensor.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Seize.
To catch or take hold of someone or something suddenly and forcibly, to capture the attention or imagination of something.
Examples:
Seize a person's property. Seize the day. He has the superpower to seize a business opportunity.
Entirely.
Completely.
Examples:
Entirely satisfied with the meal. He was entirely to blame. Later, his claim was found to be entirely false.
Suffer.
To experience pain, distress, or hardship, to undergo or endure something painful or unpleasant.
Examples:
Suffer a setback. Suffer bad grades. The older man suffers from arthritis and finds it difficult to move around.
Tremendous.
Very great in degree or extent or amount or impact, extremely good.
Examples:
Tremendous amount. Tremendous popularity. We had a tremendous time yesterday.
Injury.
Harm done to a person's or an animal's body caused by an accident or an attack.
Examples:
Without injury. A fatal injury. My accidental injury got better right away.
Commit.
To do something illegal or wrong.
Examples:
Commit suicide. Commit mistakes. The military has committed an abuse of human rights.
Suicide.
The act of killing yourself intentionally.
Examples:
Commit suicide. Suicide attack. In an economically prosperous country, most male suicide is due to child support problems.
Mood.
The way you feel at a particular time, an angry or impatient state of mind.
Examples:
The mood in a room. In an ugly mood. His gaffe spoiled the mood of the dinner party.
Sink.
To submerge or go down below the surface of a liquid or substance, to decline or deteriorate, to cause something to go down into a liquid substance or sink into something else.
Examples:
Sink a lot of capital. Sink a buzzer beater. The abandoned ship slowly began to sink into the murky waters of the harbor.
Alcoholism.
A chronic disorder characterized by dependence on alcohol and repeated excessive use of alcoholic beverages.
Examples:
Acute alcoholism. Alcoholism recovery. He lost everything due to his alcoholism.
Taboo.
Prohibited or restricted by social custom.
Examples:
A taboo word. Academic taboo. In this society, discussing politics in public is a taboo subject.
Assignment.
A duty or task given to someone, usually as part of their job or studies.
Examples:
Finish the assignment. Assignment of interest. My assignment was overwhelming and complicated, but it was also exciting.
Fancy.
To want to do or have something, noun, something that many people believe but that is false, or that does not exist, imagination or fantasy. Fancy a cup of coffee. A flight of fancy. I don't fancy acting in such an important role.
Tablecloth.
A cloth used to cover a table, especially for protection or decoration.
Examples:
Checkered tablecloth. Tablecloth size. The beautiful tablecloth added a touch of elegance to the dinner party.
Hostess.
A woman who receives or entertains guests at home or in a social setting. A female who is in charge of organizing and overseeing a formal event or gathering.
Examples:
Hostess duties. Gracious hostess. The welcoming hostess showed us to our table and handed us the menu.
Ash.
The powdery residue left after the burning of a substance, typically containing minerals and other impurities. The solid remains of a dead person after cremation.
Examples:
Ash tree. Soda ash. The volcanic ash covered the island after the eruption.
Ruin.
To damage, spoil, or demolish something. Noun, an unrecoverable state of devastation and destruction.
Examples:
Ruin the plan. Ruin the reputation. He knocked over the red wine and ruined the tablecloth.
Outright.
Completely, and without reservation, without any attempt at concealment.
Examples:
Impose an outright ban. Outright lie. He made an outright donation of $1,000 to the charity.
Rephrase.
To express or state something in a different or alternative way, usually to make it clearer, easier to understand, or more appropriate for a particular context or audience.
Examples:
Rephrase a sentence. Rephrase the question. Let me rephrase what you just said in simpler terms.
Psychiatric.
Of or relating to the treatment or study of mental illness or disorders.
Examples:
People with psychiatric disorders. Psychiatric hospital. The psychiatric evaluation revealed that the patient had been suffering from anxiety.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Identify.
To recognize someone or something and say or prove who or what they are.
Examples:
Identify handwriting. Identify gene sequences. I will introduce you to how to identify the leading causes of the malfunction.
Relate.
To establish a connection or association between two or more things, To narrate or tell about an event, experience, or relationship. To empathize or feel sympathy with someone or something.
Examples:
Relate a story. Relate a message. He tried to relate his experience to the group, but they couldn't understand.
Modern.
Of or belonging to the present time or recent times.
Examples:
Modern poetry. Pre-modern agricultural society. Their headquarters are in a modern skyscraper.
Warfare.
The use of military force to achieve political, economic, or social objectives.
Examples:
Warfare aircraft. Spiritual warfare. The country has been engaged in a prolonged conflict, with both sides using modern warfare tactics.
Ancient.
Relating to the long ago, particularly the historical period preceding the fall of the Western Roman Empire, very old.
Examples:
Pre-Christian ancient. Ancient stories. They have been living near water since ancient times.
Disaster.
An unexpected event or series of events that cause widespread damage, destruction, or loss of life.
Examples:
Global disaster. Disaster recovery. The disaster response team worked around the clock to aid those affected by the earthquake.
Heal.
To make a wound or injury to become well again.
Examples:
Heal a broken bone. Heal the hurt mind. It will take time for her mental scars to heal.
Munch.
To chew or eat something noisily, often with the sound of crunching or crunching.
Examples:
Munch on an apple. Munch away on crisps. I love to munch on popcorn while I watch a movie.
Overwhelm.
To defeat someone or something by using a great deal of force, to have a strong emotional effect on somebody.
Examples:
He was overwhelmed with gratitude. Overwhelm opponents by numbers. Too much variety may overwhelm and confuse viewers.
Petrify.
To turn to stone, to make hard and unyielding.
Examples:
Petrify with fear. Petrify into stone. The thought of public speaking will petrify her.
Wordless.
Lacking words or speech, silent, without verbal expression or explanation.
Examples:
Wordless indication. Wordless wonder. The ending of the movie left the audience in wordless awe.
Oblivion.
The state of being completely forgotten or unknown, the state of being unconscious or unaware, the condition of being destroyed, wiped out, or erased from existence.
Examples:
vanish into oblivion, drunk in oblivion. The author's work was forgotten and fell into oblivion after his death.
Obsess.
To fill the mind of someone continually so that one can't think of anything else.
Examples:
obsess over her weight. He is obsessed with the fear. He's utterly obsessed with his promotion.
Exclude.
To deny someone or something enter to a place or taking part in an activity.
Examples:
exclude a newcomer. Exclude all other possibilities. The cost for the trip excludes food and beverages.
Defile.
To pollute, contaminate, or make impure, often in a moral or religious sense. To violate or desecrate something sacred or cherished.
Examples:
defile a river. Defile the land. The vandals defiled the church by spray painting graffiti on the walls.
Ashamed.
Feeling guilt, embarrassment, or remorse about something because of something you have done.
Examples:
feel ashamed of him. Cast ashamed eyes. You don't have to be ashamed.
Subway.
An underground railway system, typically in a city.
Examples:
subway train. Rapid transit subway. He took the subway to work every day to avoid traffic congestion.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
disease prevention. Disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Dermatology.
A branch of medicine that deals with the diagnosis and treatment of skin disorders and diseases.
Examples:
pediatric dermatology. Dermatology research. She visited a dermatology clinic to get treatment for her skin condition.
Session.
A formal meeting or series of meetings for the execution of a particular group's functions, a period spent doing a particular activity.
Examples:
the morning session. The court session. Parliament is now in session.
Rot.
To decay, or cause something to decay, naturally and gradually.
Examples:
begin to rot. Rot with age. Please refrigerate the meat, or it will rot.
Profound.
Extremely great, sensed or experienced very strongly, displaying a high level of knowledge or comprehension.
Examples:
a profound book. The profound depths of the sea. My mother's illness had a profound impact on us all.
Verbal.
Expressed in spoken rather than written words.
Examples:
Verbal communication. Verbal abuse. The candidate must have excellent verbal skills.
Reclaim.
To take back something previously lost, given, or paid, or ask to have it back.
Examples:
Reclaim a competitive position. Reclaim land from the sea. You may be entitled to reclaim some tax.
Silent.
Without any or little sound.
Examples:
Silent reading. Give silent consent. The politician remained silent despite intense media scrutiny.
Unbearable.
Not able to be tolerated or endured, too difficult, severe, or intense to be dealt with or suffered through, intolerable or insufferable.
Examples:
Unbearable heat. Unbearable pain. The loss of his wife was an unbearable sorrow that he found hard to overcome.
Immortality.
The state or quality of being able to live or last forever.
Examples:
The immortality of the soul. Achieve immortality. Many people believe in the concept of immortality and an afterlife.
Immortal.
Having eternal or never-ending life, living forever, incapable of dying, having enduring fame or lasting significance.
Examples:
Immortal soul. Immortal love. Legends often describe mythical creatures as immortal beings.
Survivor.
A person who remains alive after an event in which others have died.
Examples:
Ovarian cancer survivor. A single survivor. The shipwreck survivor was rescued after floating in the ocean for 3 days.
Confront.
To face, meet or deal with a problem or difficult situation or person.
Examples:
Confront a global warming. Confront the issue. He finally decided to confront problems directly.
Committed.
Willing to put in a lot of effort, time, and energy into something, firmly believing in something.
Examples:
In a committed relationship. Strong and committed sales staff. Our company is strongly committed to meeting customers' needs.
Survive.
To live or exist despite a dangerous event or period.
Examples:
Survive a blizzard. Survive a plane crash. These birds can only survive in temperate climates.
Mortal.
Subject to death, unrelenting and deadly.
Examples.
A mortal combat. This mortal life. All humans are mortal and will eventually die.
Mysterious.
Difficult to understand, explain, or identify, having an aura of secrecy, intrigue, or puzzlement.
Examples.
Mysterious object. Mysterious stranger. The mysterious disappearance of the ship remains unsolved.